I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. You see this clip of Liz Cheney on NBC? She's asked whether she is still a conservative, and she answers it exactly how we've been talking about here on the MeidasTouch network. And she says, well, I still consider myself a conservative, but the modern day Republican Party, they're not conservative. They're not faithful to the Constitution. Watch her takedown of the modern day Republican Party.
And people ask, are you still a conservative? Is there still place in the party for people like yourself?
Well, I think those are two different questions. I am a conservative. What the Republican Party is doing today is not conservative. I think the most conservative of any conservative principle is fidelity to the Constitution. And when you have a party that has abandoned that, they've abandoned conservatism. So I am a conservative. I also think it's important for us to recognize, we've looked into the abyss as a country, and we've started to pull back. But pulling back completely and ensuring that we don't unravel is going to require thinking about our politics in a different way. And it's going to require that we think about making sure the people we elect are serious, making sure that people we elect are honorable, making sure that they're committed to substance and to policy. And there's nothing better than a substantive, engaged debate with somebody with whom you disagree. If both of you are engaged based on substance, then that's how you learn things, and it's also how you get the best policy for the country. And I think that we have to steer our politics back to those kinds of debates and discussions.
That's precisely what we've been talking about here on the MeidasTouch network. I mean, look, if you were to look at my views, you'd probably say Ben is progressive and liberal. But you see, I don't like those labels because when I look at it, I also think I'm far more conservative than MAGA Republicans. I believe in the rule of law. I believe in actually following our Constitution, right? I believe that there should not be insurrections, right? I believe that we should have free and fair elections. And so if the conservative viewpoint is that spreading COVID disinformation and singing songs with January 6th insurrectionists and lying about elections and engaging in cult-like behavior, if their argument is that's conservative, sorry, it isn't. And the media needs to call that out for what it is. That is just fascism meets idiocracy. That is authoritarianism. That is Trumpism, but that is not conservatism. And all I've always said here, too, is that there should be a big tent pro-democracy community, liberals, progressives, people who don't use any labels, people not affiliated with political parties, independents, and actual conservatives, not this MAGA Republican nonsense, where we can all have real conversations about improving our country, where we fundamentally all support our democracy, where we can disagree on issues, that's fine. But fundamentally, we are talking about policies to make our country a better place. We're talking about healthcare and how to lower prescription drug prices and make healthcare affordable and accessible. We're talking about better paying jobs. We're talking about better working conditions. We're talking about infrastructure. We're talking about protecting seniors. We're talking about students. We're talking about protecting Medicare. We are talking about protecting our veterans. We're talking about supporting our troops. We're talking about all of these issues. We're talking about a woman's right to control her body. We're talking about equality and not ripping away people's freedoms the way MAGA Republicans are. And look, this is what the modern day Republican Party is. I mean, look, you've got, this was from a recent event at Trump Doral. This was an event where all of like Donald Trump's kids were there and the usual suspects in kind of Trump world were there at a Trump property. And this is what they are talking about there. I am not making this up. This is not a parody. At the Trump Doral at one of these MAGA events, someone who calls herself Prophet Amanda Grace warns against technologically advanced mermaids. Play this clip.
There's wickedness attempting to completely cover this nation in perversion and seductive, seducing spirits. I have never seen more images of more mermaids and water people in my life. That's a division in the kingdom of darkness, and they're highly technologically advanced. And we have to understand what we're dealing with. And we have to understand the rules of engagement in spiritual warfare. And we are meant for hand-to-hand combat. And we are meant to bring our cries before the throne of God, to bring judgment on the rulers of darkness of this world and of this nation. Because the rulers have set up a throne in this nation. They've set it up. Darkness has completely covered and eclipsed the White House of this nation.
Or remember at some of these Trump rallies, this is the former head of the Republican Party in Arizona, Kelly Ward, talking about how she is part of Ultra MAGA, the Orange Mafia. Again, not conservative. Play the clip.
Hey, stand up if you're Ultra MAGA! Ultra MAGA! Woo! Hey, I'm a proud member of the Orange Mafia!
And just for a throwback, this is Donald Trump from July 27, 2016, saying, Russia, if you're listening. Play the clip.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press.
Really reaching out to our enemies to hack into political opponents' information? That's a conservative viewpoint.
¿Estás disfrutando de mi podcast? Thanks to Babbel, I know what that means. Do you? 1 in 5 Americans have learn a new language on their bucket list. Now, if that's you, check it off the list this summer with Babbel. Because with Babbel, you start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks. That's right. This summer, you can start speaking a new language with Babbel. Now, why Babbel? Because it works. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars for a private tutor or fooling yourself with language apps that are a little more than just games, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are designed by over 150 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel is designed by real people for real conversations. All of Babbel's tips and tools for learning a new language are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based teaching. Babbel's courses are super convenient. They've helped me learn real-life conversation skills on my schedule. Now I'm going on vacation later this year, and I definitely feel more confident in my Spanish-speaking abilities for the most everyday and important tasks, like ordering food or asking for directions, you name it. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology, this helps you improve your pronunciation and accent, an absolute game changer. Studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove that Babbel is better. For instance, one study shows that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. With over 10 million subscriptions sold, Babbel is real language learning for real conversations. Now, here's a special limited time deal for our listeners to get you started right now. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/Meidas. Get 55% off at babbel.com/Meidas, spelled BABBEL.com/Meidas. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Or how about this? This is Carrie Lake saying how, this is what she says to parents there, right? All about family values. She says, parents, you may want to ask your kids if Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis have BDE, if they have big dick energy. Here, play this clip.
He is gutsy. The guy has bigger... Okay. Wait, let me think about how I want to word this. My staff always says, whatever you do, do not say balls. So I'm not going to say it. That guy has a backbone made of steel. I'll tell you what he's got. I don't know if you heard of this, but he's got BDE. Anybody know what that means? Ask your kids about it later. I call it Big DeSantis energy. Right? He's got the same kind of BDE that President Trump has. And frankly, he has the same kind of BDE that we want all of our elected leaders to have.
You know, we do a video here on the MeidasTouch network where we talk about people leaving the Republican Party, people who are former Republicans, independents, people not affiliated with political party. We published one of those videos on Wednesday and went viral on YouTube. Lots of people saw it. You should check it out. People leaving the Republican Party share their stories, but we get stories all the time. Like this came from that video. Someone says, this is DB 1176. I'm a registered Republican. I'll never vote for Trump or a right-wing Republican again. Penelope 5356, 66-year-old former Republican. My sister and brother are also former Republicans. We will all be voting blue. Jerry Bell 1766. I voted Republican in my past as an independent, never again. Kasten Gem 6824 writes, I've shared your podcast with my neighbors in the past. She had never bothered to be informed. I'm proud to say she is now a registered Democrat and plans to vote a straight ticket from now on. Here's Monica Light 7177. I voted for Biden in 2020. I'm now a registered Democrat. I will never vote for a Republican again. Grizzled Granny 4600 writes, I voted red most of my life. Then there was Trump, re-registered as a Democrat, not looking back. Scott Bryant, I'm the same independent voter most of my 55 years. When Trump ran in 2016, I switched to the Democratic Party and will never go back as long as MAGA's involved. The damage they have done to our America will take years to get over, but we will. And I think that's important, but we will. You see the comments, spread these videos, share these videos, because it's important that at the end of the day, what we're supporting is competence, compassion, integrity, adults in leadership positions. That's what I care about most. And there could be disagreements over issues and how to achieve a better policy. It's fine. But we need people who are serious in positions of power, who are the ones making life and death decisions, not these MAGA Republicans who are spreading lies and cheering on insurrectionists and cheering on enemies of the United States of America. And again, they're doing it in our face, like we can see it with our own eyes. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your support. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Wherever you get audio podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast and have an excellent day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.